Good morning, everybody, and this is your Forex day trade setups for today. So the Fed signed answers over at the moment, and we did get a bit of a sell-off yesterday, which just indicated a strong dollar, as we've been talking about most of the time. Does make sense with the bigger picture. You can see we are pretty much heading down. Haven't really tested the break sufficiently, I suppose. As I said yesterday, we could refer to that retest of the 155 as our trend continuation to the downside. So it's been going down for quite some time. I still believe we need to start breaking through the structure we have here. I'm just going to fine-tune this structure because that is the level that we're playing with at the moment. If this bar finishes as it is now on the 8 hour, that could be a piercing bar for another move to the upside. So just be wary of that. But I think we should be looking for opportunities to sell off this. Now, I'm going to give you two levels. The one is right where we are, which is not looking very promising. So let's just move it up. And what you can do is basically look at that zone there. And it could effectively come up to that area as well. So levels to sell into are 117.148, 117.183, and 117.252. Okay, so just remember you're looking for bearish price action in that area, which would be inside bar, engulfing bar, or pin bar, somewhere in that area. And I'd even go down to sort of a 20 or 30 minute chart for that as well to watch. Wouldn't be doing it now. Look at the oscillators all grouped to the downside. So wait for the retracements and then we look for the opportunity. US dollar, Japanese yen, as I said yesterday, still very much in this range. Now, if we're going to follow suit with Euro USD, we need to see a break above this area of 109.777 and continuation. For me, moving averages are flat. We are back in the middle here. This is not an area you want to be playing with at the moment. So could see a bit of a pullback. A couple of levels here. So you could see a bit of a pullback onto 109.645. And if that holds, then I'd expect we're probably going to get a move to the upside. But yeah, this one I'm sitting on the sides. On the higher time frames, we're pretty much going nowhere. We are range bound. So until we break that range in some manner, I am not bothered with it at the moment. It does look like a bit of a move to the downside. If you look at that inside bar, pin bar here, double top, bit of diversions, very slight diversions. That does look like a top, but the top is more than likely just going to come down to 109.645, which could give an opportunity to buy, which is going to give you strong dollar, which is what you should be looking at. Just bear in mind that this level at 109.777 is all the moving averages on the 8 hours. So you'd want to see a breakdown, a pullback, sort of a move up, a pullback onto the structure, and then a move. That's going to give you confirmation for a move to top of range. Okay, so moving on to British pound, Japanese yen. We can see a bit of consolidation happening on the 8 hour at the moment down here. Nothing really exciting. Oscillators grouped to the downside. Downward trend at the moment. You can see we broke below the moving averages, tested it there late last week, and since then we've just been going sideways. So if we just move across to the 1 hour, you'll see pretty clear sideways motion, and oscillators not offering anything at the moment. So for me, I think we should be looking for a move to the downside. The question is, where is that move coming off? So we've broken through all the structure here. The next bit of structure is a little bit higher up at 150.070. That may offer something, or alternatively, we're looking sort of at a break and retest of 149.652. So London breakout strategy, I think, is the way to go. Take the first 7 hours, 7 1 hour bars, put your range in on that. If we break below the opening of this morning, and test sort of break below to have a close below it on like a 5, 6, 10 or 15 minute chart, then I suspect we're more than likely going to move down. I think you'll be capped by 149.234 before a bit of a bounce back, and then maybe a continuation to the downside. Ultimately we're sideways, so be very careful here. I think the safer bet would be to wait for a break below 149.234. Break and retest at that area, then that should get us going again. And that would give us a fairly big measured move because we've got this structure here into a range. So if we break that, you've got a measured move all the way down to somewhere down to the 147,448 area, but we clearly need to break that range first. Okay. Lastly, moving across to Euro British Pound, similar kind of situation there. We are again above the moving averages on the 8 hour, and I remember starting to sound like a stuck record with this pair, but we've been in this downward trend for so long. We've you can see going back all the way to January, we've been sort of drifting lower, and then we tried to break up higher, sort of failed, continued drifting low in a very messy fashion, tried again to break higher, continued down, and then a third time that we broke higher. So that was a third time, and that failed. And now what we have is a fourth time that we're breaking up to the upside. So oscillators indicating we should be looking for a move to the downside, and price action is also not very positive. So that's looking for some kind of a move down. So for me at the moment, if you look at the hour, it's the reverse. You've got diversions, and it's indicating we should be testing the moving averages for a move to the upside. Personally, I'm just staying out of this at the moment. I'm not really interested in this either. So we'll wait for the structure to form itself properly before getting into this. Anyway, that's kind of my view this morning. I think the dollar will offer some kind of opportunities because we are finished with all the noise. So that's the one to watch. I think the pound at the moment, just leave it for a bit and let's just see what transpires. Maybe we start getting some structure forming, and that will get us into the pound. But at the moment, I think dollar is the only one that's offering some opportunities. And remember, by the looks of things, we're looking at dollar strength. So in other words, that should be euro moving up. Euro dollar moving down, and US dollar Japanese yen moving up. Those are the two directions you need to be looking for. Anyway, hope it helps, and we'll catch up with you tomorrow morning. Cheers for now.